Yeah, guys, 1 minute and that's it. Over.
It's done.
Okay, let us see how you have prioritized. Can we have one person showcasing his or her work? Lina, you want to? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, will you read out?
Yes. So in urgent, so being a manager of in that hierarchy, in urgent and important, I've noted, I've listed branch manager note, resignation letter, customer complaint letter, email chain 1, email chain 2. I was little confused on what the email is about, but thought better I read and then I know. A memo from operations manager.
Okay.
And important and not urgent, structure of a branch, sales against target. So I need this data, it's important to me, but not very urgent in front of other tasks. Staff opinion, survey results, borrow bank web pages, because customers view it. Team performance review, it's again not urgent but important. And minutes of the last sales innovation group meeting, it's going to be needed in long run for betterment of the place. And something which is not important and not urgent, I put training workshop email.
Now let me have one more person who differed with some of the things. Yeah, let us take Swati. Yes, Swati.
Yes, share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I've done. Customer complaint is something that would be at most importance, I feel, for me to look at. Then comes the resignation letter, followed by training workshop email and team performance review, because I feel these three are interconnected. If I'm getting into a team performance review, I need to also be aware of what the workshop, if there is a training workshop happening, can this be of, maybe I can use that input in the performance review. Then going to this section, email chain 1 and 2, the reason I've written it, considering that this is a response to an email which was already shared probably by me or somebody else, and there could be an action for me in these. Then sales against targets and staff opinion survey results. Coming to this section, I've written these things about the structure of the branch. Because looking at this matrix, these could have actions or expectations from people who have shared it for me to take an action, which could be important for them. So that's the reason these three are here. And these the bank web pages and minutes of the last sales innovation group meeting, considering the whole landscape of tasks, I felt this was the most least priority.
Okay, can we have one more person, please? Shamir?
Yes. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Because it's given from assistant to the manager, it's new to him. What's the task? So structure the branch and branch manager note, then again sales against target, customer complaint, team performance review, and residential letter. These are important.
Okay.
Not important, or because I can do it later, I have other judgment, or memo from operation manager, email 1 and email 2. We don't know what the content is, but it's not important. But I can look it later. Not urgent thing are the last sales innovation group meeting, staff opinion survey results. And nothing urgent nor important is the bank web page and training workshop mail.
Okay. So if you actually look at, some of you have put email 1 and email 2 in my for Lena, and as I think Lena put it as urgent important, right? Did you have it as? So it depending on the content, of course. If the content, it's a chain, right? So it could actually be urgent but not important, okay? Or it could also come as, say not urgent and not important as well, but depending on the content. But I will actually go by, some of you have really positioned it as urgent and important. What's important? Resignation letter. You do not know who that person was resigned. It could be a critical source, so you have to really take it up. Team performance review. Obviously, it could be important, but probably not urgent. You agree? It is not that immediately you have to do it. Team performance review is important, but not urgent. There's a difference between urgent and not urgent, but not urgent, but important. It's an important thing. Now, absolutely, sales target, well, it is very important, but depending on target for which quarter, or if you are saying that sales is closing, so that could be very important thing, right? So depending on the kind of argument you're going to put, then you could prioritize into urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. Typically why we made you do this is essentially to get to you a sense of, in an in-tray, there is something called time frame. Within that time, you need to actually finish off your tasks. Now, are you going to do it by yourself? Are you going to delegate? Are you going to put it on after some time? So depending on your in-tray, how are you going to prioritize, plan, except time management, urgency, sense of urgency? These are some of the competencies you can actually get to measure in an in-tray, guys. Okay. And for practice, I think we will send you some more of these in-trays, which will be very interesting for you to do them. I think Vilma has already shared 1 or 2 things, right? In-tray exercises. It will be very good for you all to do it at home, because in-tray, you don't do it at your own pace. Fix a time, 1 hour, 2 hours within the time frame. Because what happens? Are you comfortable operating under that pressure of time? Are you able to take the right decisions when you have a constraint of time? That becomes very critical there, right? For an HR manager, within the time frame, are you able to take decisions? So how do you do decision making? That becomes very critical here. Okay.
Fine.
So we actually, I'm so sorry, we are taking a little more time. Yeah. So we got you into a sense of doing a couple of tools, like we made you do in-tray, and then moon landing, and also what is it? We did one more exercise, designing
matrix.
Matrix. Okay. Now, what is the takeaway for you? If you were to do an assessment center for your organization, what is the takeaway for you? What is the biggest kind of area where you see challenge?
Content development.
Pardon?
Content.
Of what?
So when we say we need for a particular competency, what tools we use?
Yeah. Clarity on competencies. First of all, your foundation, clarity on preset standards. That is something which you need to really get that straight, because only when you have that in place, then you are able to then look at what are those tools and exercises you can use to measure them, right? And what kind of training will you give to the assessors? Because assessors also need to have clarity on what is to be evaluated, what is the kind of competency are we measuring. So assessors also need to get some kind of an orientation. Okay. So if I were to ask just 1 or 2 people, what was the takeaway as learning for you all? Any 1 or 2 people can just give me. Let me ask Kalyan. Kalyan, what is the takeaway for you today?
Today, from today's this particular workshop, we get to know different type of tools what we are going to use.
To measure the competencies.
And prior to that, how to define the competencies related to particular task, I mean role. That
Absolutely.
competencies are also very much important. That is the important part. And thirdly, the proficiency level of each and every, levels of the competencies that need to be ascertained. Otherwise, how will we knowing that it should be within 5 or within, maximum, particular, suppose communication should be higher or lower or middle. So in that way.
Okay.
And
now I want you all to look at, I will give you a nice quick, if you want to create behavioral indicators, please look at Bloom's taxonomy. Use that model to create your, then you will get a hang of. All of you go back, because just getting through that model is very simple. Just write Bloom's taxonomy, BLOOM, Bloom's taxonomy.
It's already given in the PPT. Go in the
PPT,
first
yeah,
second. Everything is given there.
It's a payment kind of thing.
So it will give you a lot of help in developing your proficiency levels. Okay, guys? Any challenges?
Ma'am, query.
And you will get your assignment for this week, okay? So that you all will be able to then reinforce your entire assessment center learning.
Yes, last week assignments, feedback, suggestions is awaited.
No, what I will do is I will actually write certain suggestions and all, because I didn't want to eat up that time for assessment center, okay? Because we have less time. So individually you will get your
please.
comments.
There is great challenge in the sense that suppose we are getting trained, it is one way, but the people who will be assessing, we need to make the assessors also, they are not trained. Even in the organizations, most of the organizations, they don't have the, written down these competencies. So that is the challenge. If I want to run this particular competency mapping in any organizations, maybe one organization who is doing practicing, that is okay, fine. But for unknown people or the organizations who are trying to do it first, for them, identifying the particular competencies for particular role, that is the most challenge, I think. Making them known and then identifying and then, train them is a great challenge for all the professionals.
Kalyan, there are certified assessors. Either you get them from external certified assessors to do it, or you develop your own assessors internally.
No, I'm saying, suppose we are now getting certified, that is okay, fine. For
Typically, you should not use your own organization people to be assessors, because they will have some kind of bias. The organizations use assessors from a third party, so unknown, so that they are able to be more objective. Okay?
That's true. That is
because if you use your own people, there is a tendency to have some kind of leaning, some kind of subject.
Biasness will be there.
Yeah. So then there'll be bias in what they observe. Okay.
And where we have multi branches, like we have offices Delhi, Bangalore, Goa, Mumbai, how do we set up this assessment center or development center on a common platform? Is there any ready platform that we can use for?
Yeah, today you can use virtual assessment centers.
That's easier.
Much easier. We can send you some inputs.
Your problem is solved if you have the virtual.
Because of the COVID, everything has become virtual. So likewise, even assessment centers have become virtual assessment centers.
Like which ones?
No, the entire design is the same, but the way it operates is online.
You can create your own probably in OneDrive or SharePoint and across the organization.
Like for example, I'll tell you, Leena. Yeah. Earlier in tray, it used to be pen and pencil, sit on a table and do. Now in tray is electronic. You open a folder, you are timed, and then it closes. You open a web, online, it opens. It's like that online test you do.
Just like Prometric, they use those things.
Yeah.
So times are set for each of the tests.
Yes.
And so the entire designing is done in such a way that like you're able to complete all the set of tests within the given time frame
But again, let me
across the
tell you,
location.
very important at the heart of this entire thing is that what are you going to assess? Because if you don't have clarity of that, then whatever you do later is meaningless, right? So, okay, guys.
Okay.
So with this, we will close and have a nice weekend of whatever is left.
Nirmala,
Okay. But
shall we give them to design an assessment center? One good, nice topic.
Yeah.
They can do the
Give me
entire.
just one. So you will get your assignment by say tomorrow, guys. Okay.
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 Fine.
Now, the last session is going to be very interesting, competency-based interviewing. So you just read up, because mostly it will be interviewing, observing, because no amount of, okay, we will tell you how to frame questions, how to do probing and all, but we will actually do a real-time interview. Okay. So we will have the entire thing as an experiential base.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys. So take care and enjoy.
You too. You all. Take care.
Okay. Good night. Good night. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.